So a Thragtusk has hit the board, threatening this Kaya, perhaps. Current record, presumably 1-1, but let's check it out. If PDBot is willing to tell us. Yeah, 1-1. So 4 cards in hand versus a Thragtusk. Maybe we can deal with the Thragtusk, keep our Kaya alive, in which case I really like Black-White's chances. If Kaya dies, maybe it's a bit more even. We do have a Condemn. So, but Restoration Angel here to make a mockery of Condemn, or at least, you know, save the Thragtusk, gain 5 life, make a 3/3 die to Wrath. I mean, a Wrath is not so good because it leaves a 3/3 to finish off the Kaya, I guess.
No, because then the Kaya can just kill the 3/3.
Is it 0 to do that? It's 0, yeah. So yeah. Okay, so actually Wrath is very good because we can completely clean up and leave you with only lands, no cards in hand. Tragic. Okay. Just the usual Black-White thing of spamming a bunch of answers and hoping the Planeswalker lives. Elvish Visionary, not very good to Kaya 0, and lethal to Kaya, hits the field. Unscrupulous Agent, taking 1 of 2 remaining cards, is the draw. This is not totally hopeless for Abzan here. There's a 2/3 Shambling Vent making attacks on Kaya, kind of embarrassing. And we're tapping out for something. Okay. Well, Elspeth Sun's Champion is here to do what she does and end the game. Jolly good. You know, if you pay 6 mana, you expect to win, really, don't you? And I think it's only fair. I would never play a card that costs 6 mana. That's insane. But people do it for this very reason, I guess. Are we attacking? I should think we are. Persecute the player with 1 card in hand who's playing a 3-color deck and get that Yorion, which was put into hand last turn. Pretty good. I would pay 4 mana in a card.
So it was just a 4 mana fast.
Yes, yeah. It was just Dreams of Steel and Oil or something. I don't know, not as good as that.
It was the same.
It was the same. So now we're firing up Shambling Vent. No, we're not. We're just rubbing it in on our 18 life. Now we're firing up Shambling Vent, perhaps. Yeah. And we just attack all.
Which wasn't really needed.
Are we even bothering to use Kaya? Probably not. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you've got your 2 Planeswalkers going against mid-range opponent on nada, then you're in a pretty good spot. So now we can Elspeth Ultimate and win next turn. And there we go. That's the match. Okay, so are any more of these purported games going? This M-Dog match still live according to MTGO, but you cannot watch it. It let me in this time after clicking the button a couple of times. Let's switch over to that. So we have M-Dog, he of the Horn of Gondor, with his Aethersworn Canonist, which somebody said is the best card in this matchup against the Aura's deck, because, you know, they can't spam Auras. They can just cast 1 rubbishy 1 mana Aura every turn. So let's see if it so proves. This is Plurt, PLRT, on the Aura's deck, with, you know, much the bigger creatures, attacking for nearly life total, and if they had the Flash Aura, and there was no blocks, it's a win. And
no, it's not, because they already cast the spell.
Oh, they already cast the Scavenger. Not the Scavenger, the Ethereal Armor, so...
Yeah.
So yeah, so not... Okay, so they didn't have to block there, but of course going to 2... not brilliant in any scenario. Well, many scenarios. So looking for like some kind of removal spell here, presumably. Sheltered by Ghosts, take out your biggest guy make my Canonist a 4/3 is alright. M-Dog obviously under his own constraints of the Canonist. It's not like they're an artifact deck. It's just kind of deemed better than, you know, deleterious enough for auras that it's a good card in the matchup. I don't look so hot here, you know, even as a 4/4. Slowing down auras for sure, but if they have the bigger creatures, maybe they don't care, you know. If you have an 8/9 first strike lifelink ward 2, do you care that you can only cast one spell a turn? Maybe not. But yeah, I'm sure in many scenarios it's pretty effective. So where are we putting this counter to tell us how conservative Plurt is feeling? If you feel like you've essentially won already, you just stick it on the Spirit Dancer and gain an extra life. But probably you want to spread it around, play around Sheltered by Ghosts ruining your life, or whatever it is. We are attacking with the 2/2, suggesting we think we're very far ahead. We cannot cast another spell, so this is a free Eat the Scavenger. Maybe we have a 2-cost card in our hand we want to play so badly that we're trying to get them to chomp with Sanctum. I don't know, I'm not sure what this means, but Plurt definitely pretty far ahead here. M-Dog, I feel like I'm constantly saying that during this tournament, but M-Dog's best out probably Settler Wreckage.
Which they probably do play.
There's at least one in the 75.
Yeah.
So
always play it.
So you got to think of it. I don't know. I mean, Plurt's in a pretty good spot, although it will take them a while to rebuild if both their larger creatures are zapped in that way. But presumably Sithis will not be getting in next turn, and they can slowly... Okay, so Hopeful Initiate can shrink these creatures, not great, and remove, I guess, Ethereal Armor? It would be a 3/4 lifelink ward 2 if you remove the Ethereal Armor, so can't come in with Spirit Dancer. Yeah, so I don't know. Hopeful Initiate definitely gives options here, and of course Canonist constrains what's possible for auras. So attack with all 3, implying what? The Flash Aura? Because without the Flash Aura, we can... No, I guess the thing is the creatures get smaller to use Hopeful Initiate's abilities, and therefore, even after you remove a key aura, there maybe aren't great blocks. You could remove the Shard Mages and make this guy into a 1/3 and block it with the 3/3 Prelate, but you do have to chump the 9/10 in that scenario. But you, I mean, assuming Plurt doesn't have the Flash Aura.
Alright, it's... Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, Sheltered by Ghosts had something under it. I'm never quite sure of the UI of Sheltered by Ghosts, but yeah. Okay, so giving us a Thalia to maybe chump with is pretty okay. Eating a Sithis is pretty okay. Yeah, we are chumping with Thalia and hoping to use Hopeful Initiate again in the future. Plurt does not deploy the Flash Aura, content to let opponent go to 2 and sort of trade a creature for a creature in a very weird way. And then post combat, the one spell is Lurrus, who has presumably been hanging. So we can't then. So we have access to a Sheltered by Ghosts next turn, which then opens up the hand if it hits the Canonist. So pretty interesting. Thalia's Lieutenant does give access to enough counters to activate Initiate, and we still have enough mana to do it. So Sheltered by Ghost no longer so hot. It just kind of comes into play and then removes 2 counters and goes away again. And I think the way it's worded...
It's still in play, so we can get Sheltered by Ghost.
What's that? Oh, the Prelate. Yeah, the Prelate is stopping the Sheltered by Ghost. So actually there's nothing available beyond an Optimistic Scavenger, which would be the whole play for the turn. For oh no, we can place this. All right, okay, I understand Magic. It's fine. And the no attacks. So the fear of having the Ethereal Armor removed and the Core Spirit Dancer eaten is enough to cause us to for this to be like a stalemate. So we're going to use some counters end of turn here because it's quite mana intensive to Hopeful Initiate. I guess if we destroy a 1 mana aura, that is playable under the Sanctum Prelate Aethersworn Canonist scenario. Although Plurt almost certainly has a bunch of 1 mana auras in hand, so it's kind of like slowing them. Wow, this is complicated, even if you know what the cards do. Looks like M-Dog does want to use the ability. Maybe just zap Sithis, who is an enchantment. No, goes for the Ethereal Armor. So just trying to keep... And we still have a Hopeful Initiate activation available with the counters that are still on Aethersworn Canonist. Castle Ardenvale activation creates 2 counters now, because we have a Champion of the Parish and a Tholia's Lieutenant. So the kind of combination of Canonist, Hopeful Initiate, Castle Ardenvale, I mean, it's all a bit mana intensive, but it's maybe enough to manage this situation. So Plurt decides their 1 spell of the turn is Ethereal Armor.
I think the clock is gonna be a huge factor in this game.
Yeah, less than 3 minutes for M-Dog is extremely significant. Because, for all the fact that they've kind of set up this situation where they've maybe stabilized against someone that was kind of crushing them, they don't really look like swinging in for 42 or anything, do they? I mean, Plurt restricted to 1 crappy aura or 1 crappy creature each turn unless they draw the flash aura is definitely real. And there might not be a way out of that in the whole deck, because Sheltered by Ghosts is off. So how are we going to kill Sanctum Prelate? We're not going to. How are we going to kill Canonist? We're not going to. And we can't kill Sanctum Prelate. So it's pretty miserable for Plurt here, given infinite time. On the other hand, they're kind of always going to have a couple of big guys going into any given turn. And they're certainly not going to run out of cards. What's that?
I don't know whether that's true, actually. I think they
You think the double activation of Initiate is going to make everybody small and open up attacks? I mean, Canonist can't attack, Prelate can't attack. The other guys shrink to use the Initiate twice. Okay, and here we go with our one thing we can do to have 2 spells in a turn cycle. Might as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes 39. Opponent drawing. Just play a guy. Just don't die. Have chumpers. I wonder if there's a Brave the Elements win here. Probably not, because 44 is so much life. So we're going to double activate.
I think it will be there in like a couple turns.
Yeah, so maybe we're just, as long as Plurt isn't attacking and we don't have to use our Hopeful Initiate to shrink these Spirit Dancers so we don't die. And also we've got the 1/1s to chump. Yeah, maybe this is just good enough. Like, Memdog's found a way. Okay, that also helps. Champion of the Parish off the top, presumably. So really now, seems like it's a case of getting a big enough army going before the 2 minutes 21 seconds is gone. Lots of triggers, but you can maybe F6 through your opponent's turn, given that... Oh no, I guess you can't, because they might attack. No, but... Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky.
I think you can.
F6 and then
Yield.
after declare blockers, use your hopeful initiate.
Just yield through the triggers.
Yes, yeah, yield all of
But
them.
you don't need to respond.
Okay,
to
so we're picking off some enchantments end of turn here, and we're maybe thinking to attack. Sit this down. Flirt with 9 cards in hand, but seemingly unable to find a way through and going for the clock victory. 4 more +1/+1 counters here, although not the mana for double activation.
I think
Thalia's
Monarch is like risky with this clock situation.
Yeah, Thalia's Lieutenant is big enough to attack, M-Dog believes, and in fact, Plurt happy to chump, definitely looking at the clock here. Play a thing, yeah, just play a blocker. I think M-Dog can do this, maybe. End of turn, destroy the ethereal armor, perhaps. No, end of turn, make a guy. I defer to M-Dog's judgment here. I mean, it does make 3 of your creatures bigger to make a dude, and you can always double activate next turn. So we're coming in with more than Thalia's Lieutenant this time. Starting to look possible, but of course to use Hopeful Initiate you have to remove 2 counters, so it's not totally free. Maybe the 8/8 and the 5/5 come in, and we can activate off the other champion to remove the ethereal armor if they block. So there's too much math to do in 1 minute 2 seconds, I fear. Crazy game. So Canonist, I said at the beginning when we tuned in, kind of meant to be the best card in this matchup for humans, and that and Hopeful Initiate between them and Prelate for sure have done work. Is it enough work to win in the next 45 seconds? So here maybe, can you block with the big creature on the 5/5? Lose the ethereal armor, it becomes a 3/5. No, Plurt is. Yes, it does die, and you can just use the counters off the other champion to essentially kill the Skyfisher, unless they have the Flash Aura. It seems like a good attack. I mean, the other thing is that Plurt is on 45. So you need to get a life point every second for the rest of this game, otherwise bad times. Plurt just, decides it's not worth the risk of chaos and just takes 5. It looks to me like, given infinite time, this is absolutely M-Dog's game, and it's really a question of will M-Dog be able to put together a win. Nothing like 40 power on board, so Brave the Elements, not a one-shot. Okay, and we are just knocking down these blockers so that they're not effective with Hopeful Initiate. But 28 seconds. A lot is going to depend upon very fast clicking. 40 life is a lot of life. Okay. So M-Dog now, yeah. I don't think it can be done in 18 seconds, unfortunately. With chump blockers, even one with lifelink available, but...
And the Lurus.
Yeah, I mean, the Lurus just makes a chump blocker, right? You can only cast 1 spell. You've got 8 cards in hand anyway.
That chump blocker has gained them 30 life.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we're getting to the point now where we can alpha, are we?
Yeah, they need to draw Brave the Elements, I think.
We're at 7 seconds, so that's not really relevant now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're not even going to get another turn, so it is going to be Plurt's game. Although it was pretty interesting to see humans kind of find a way back with a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop from very under the, not under the gun, I don't know what the expression is, but yeah, it's going to be a timeout. Okay. Do we have any more matches
I
going?
don't think so.
Looks like not. Nothing clearly marked if there is, so good luck in the next round, folks.